The radio. That was Entombed's Left Hand Path, which the reason why we're playing that is very sad reason. We lost LG Petrov on Sunday night, Monday morning. I finally succumbed to his cancer at age 49, which is far too young. And he never got to make back up with Hilly. So Entombed never came back together. They died with Entombed and Entombed AD. And I'm really heartbroken about it. I've seen Entombed 4 times, and I'm sad. Tanner, what are your thoughts on Entombed?
One of the greatest death metal bands ever. So,
Well,
Left Hand Path was life changing for me as soon as I heard it. So, and I'm not a fan of like that Swedish guitar metal, the guitar tone for the Swedish death metal, but
the heavy metal pedal
for some reason, but for some reason, Entombed always did it right, especially like the first. And the nihilist stuff before that, it was all killer for me. So very very sad. We keep losing everybody, man. We just keep losing them.
Well, that's life, man.
Yeah,
it's life. But Entombed's really responsible. You wouldn't have this right here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a thick book too, and this is all Swedish death metal. And it starts with Nihilist, pretty much.
Of course, dude.
And it's a great book, written by Daniel Shitaroff. And inside he wrote to Andy, this book will kill God. Which I think is awesome.
Absolutely. But yeah, a huge rest in peace to him, man. That's awful news.
Yeah.
Just awful.
But on the live side of things, I think we're starting to come out of this COVID thing. People are opening up everywhere. The numbers are going down. And Biden, right before we went live, announced that everybody should open up the freaking vaccines to everybody of all over 18 and over. So hopefully we might have herd immunity by the time of your show on May 1st, where you talk about, which is crazy because they're just jabbing arms everywhere out there.
There you go, my man. But I mean, obviously, we had to start off the show, a little bit,
sad
on a sad note, but hopefully the rest of it we can talk about some cool stuff. And
you got real exciting news for us.
Oh, dude, I got tons of exciting news. I just don't know what
do you want to talk about first. Let's
dive into. Well, I wanted to say thanks, for coming out to Sunday's event, because I had a blast. Even just getting to see you, dude.
Yeah, and then I got to see Madrost play live on fucking Sunday, and I got to see you do Showering Your Rotting Earth, which I believe me and the people that were there are the first people to ever see you guys play that song live.
Yeah,
and it's pretty fucking rad.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely,
it managed to get me through after basically this a year without shows.
Well, like I said, I'm glad you went, and I'm glad that we sounded tight. That's what my main concern was. So,
all right, they had you play 3 of one song and 2 of the other song, and the second time you played each song, you guys were in a pocket like I've never seen you before.
Isn't it great when we practice?
And I've seen Madrost a lot of times. I'm to the point where I can't even count. It's got to be somewhere between 20 and 25 at least.
Oh yeah, I've never seen us, so I always make that joke, but
you guys are almost to the point where you go in with Death Angel, Exodus, Testament. Those are bands I can't even count how many times I've seen live over the years.
Absolutely. Well, I'm honored, my man. But yeah, I just want to thank Diego as well for all the hard work, man. You just talk about all the hard work that gets put into that fucking shit.
Yeah, he is he's a diehard right there. Diehard. Plus, he's been in TV for so long. He knows how to make it happen.
Oh yeah, but even with that, it still was kind of big for me. Even if it was like it seemed small with the crew and stuff, but the crew was very nice, and we had a good sound. We had a good sound guy. We can hear everything, so it was just an all around good time. And playing to a click now with the Charring the Rotting Earth and having the synths and clean guitars, and I don't know. I think people are going to be in for a real treat. When you guys come and see
May
us play.
1st, Stages with Void Vader. If you're in the Southland. Once again, that's
Yep.
May 1st at Stages, formerly Malone's, with Void Vader, who are releasing their new record. Their video came out this week, which is freaking awesome too. They're on a roll.
Absolutely.
With them, I like to think, man, what if the pandemic hadn't happened and they had got to tour the entire U.S. like they were planning on all last year? I think they would be out of the stratosphere right now.
I think us and them would be too.
I think. Yeah, well, I think what Madrost and not to you guys need to go to Europe straight up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's going to happen. It's going to.
That will take you to the completely next level.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But yeah, but on this like I said, so a lot of cool stuff has been happening in the camp. Obviously, we'll talk about as much of it as we can, but definitely Sunday's extravaganza was awesome.
Yeah, and we got to see Jeff Duncan. We got to hang out with Bill Montoya, Johnny from 360. I mean, all friends we've known for a long time. I haven't seen. It was good to see Bill because usually my time I get to spend with Mr. Montoya is usually at NAMM. We sit down, we have a beer, we talk, all that stuff. And there was no NAMM this year, so I didn't get to see those people I get to see every January. So I waited, a month and a half, and I got to see Bill. We get to see Bill all day Sunday. And believe it or not, Madrost has been recorded now by Bill Montoya.
Yeah, we're in the club now.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that was really rad. I'm curious to hear what he's going to actually do with the tracks, just because of his, his expertise. So it'll be really, really cool to see that.
He's a magician.
Or to hear it. Yeah. So, but yeah, dude, just
before we get into this announcement, why don't we play Crypt Keeper?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, this is if you don't know anything about Madrost, back in the day, Dad Ross, Tanner's dad, used to put on a freaking mask and get up on stage and be the mascot for this track right now from their first album.
Absolutely.
This is Crypt Keeper right now on
Razor Radio.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. That was the Outer Banks brand new I Hate God, which comes out, I guess, today, Friday. Go get it. Jimmy put a lot of work into this, Mike Williams. You should see the billboard they got in New Orleans. It looks like the Murder in the Front one for their new album. It's huge. It's way up. I mean, it's I Hate God. They've been around for 25 years. Check it out. And it's. I'm not a big Doom or Sludge guy, but something about I Hate God, the way they bring it up, and because they have fast parts in there too, it just kicks ass.
And what is he always said? Doom puts you to sleep. Is that what it was?
Most of it, yeah. But I Hate God's not Doom. They're more sludge mixed with like stuff that rocks. I guess that's the way to put it. And they got Bower Power. You don't need much more than Bower Power. One of the baddest drummers in the southern part of the country, and he's playing guitar.
Absolutely, man. Well, yeah. So, like, not to steer the ship too much, but I do want to.
I'm just waiting for you when you want to make the announcement.
Yeah, I want to announce whatever. Obviously, you can see behind me. I brought it out for this special occasion, but
I like it.
Our first album is being reissued on vinyl for the first time, and again on CD with some bonus material. So, I came on here. I wanted to thank you, obviously, for letting me come on and promoting it. So, I hope everybody goes out and gets it. April 2nd is when the pre-orders actually come out on NoLifeToMetalRecords.com, and it'll be released on June 4th. So
that's fucking awesome, and it's the least I could do considering the radio station I worked at when it came out the first time didn't want anything to do with it.
That's the best part about it, But, yeah, a lot of good, dude. Like, if you don't mind too, I'd like to discuss some of the, that era, because going back to doing this reissue, I had to go back into the vault essentially, and grab the unmastered the unmastered track, so I can't remix it obviously because I lost the vocal tracks. So I wasn't going to pull a Dave Mustaine and re-record the vocals. I'm just not going to do that. So and thankfully I own all the track. I own the masters, so I can do whatever I want with it. But, just going back into the vault and stuff and kind of hearing, these songs again after, not hearing the full album in its entirety, from start to finish, like I had, when it was originally released and stuff. it brought back a lot of memories. So I just wanted to touch upon, you know, the good, bad, and the ugly. I won't get too much into it because it's probably not worth it. But at the same
Nah, go
time,
ahead.
it was still fun as fuck to like, just to go back in to this thing by myself, without having like too many chefs in the kitchen, and I got to essentially, do what I needed to do with it. And I think people are really gonna like the tracks. Obviously, you played Crypt Keeper, which is newly remastered and whatnot. So I think the remasters, and this is as cliche as a fucking band could say, I think these actually do sound a little bit and a lot better than the original. So I don't know if you would feel the same, but to me, just hearing them side by side, it's like a huge. There's a lot more like the tracks breathe a little bit more for me now.
Yeah,
So
I was listening to it when you sent it to me last weekend. It sounds better, especially on my stereo.
like it sounds cleaner. It sounds like
it's a little cleaner and a little thicker. It's not as tinny. You had almost a Injustice for All sound going for it at first when I first heard it.
Oh, okay.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, dude, that's a good analogy, man. But I think
Mm-hmm.
Rob did a killer job with the mastering, and when I got sent back the first drafts, they didn't have the samples in it, so we had to go back in and luckily I still keep, me, dude. I'm a
You keep
fucking
everything.
I'm a hoarder when it comes to
Yeah,
the Madrost stuff, so I keep everything.
you're this generation's Brian Lou.
Well, yeah, but I have to be because nobody else will, But luckily,
Mm-hmm.
I still had the sound effects on it on the original, like CD track. So I got I had to upload them and send them to him and kind of work with the mastering engineer to make sure the track sounded good. So
Yeah, they
I
do,
think.
and I really like the bonus track too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the bonus
Now,
track was.
is that the same
Uh-huh.
four people that played on the album on that track?
Mhm. Yeah. It was
Okay.
originally a rehearsal. It was a rehearsal track. We were supposed to get the full the full 6 songs that we recorded, and dude,
Mm-hmm.
that's an interesting story, man. If I can get into it real quick,
Yeah, we got time,
is that
dude.
so we originally recorded it at Santa Fe Springs, and I can't ever remember the fucking. I
Out
can't
by the
remember
swap meet.
a little bit past that. It's like the 5 and the I don't have no idea. Whatever like hot. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's a
Anyway, go
studio
on.
out there. It's a studio out there that we mastered the original track or the original album for, and we got to record out there. They were just like testing out some new equipment and needed a band to come in, so they invited us to come in, and we literally did a weekend full of shows, and then had to get to that studio at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So when you
What
were
you're
loading out,
hearing,
you just loaded right to the studio, basically.
dude. Yeah. We had like 2 hours of sleep, and then
Mm-hmm.
fucking booked it to the studio and did the 6-song like thing with like Zombie Grinder and other
Mm-hmm.
tracks from the Maleficent record. But we also wanted to make sure that the Perceptual Constancy track was recorded, because we didn't put it on the album just because we felt it didn't belong on the album. It was just here, and then everything else was kind of like
Mm-hmm.
here, so it was like it would have been weird to include it. So it
Yeah,
never got.
but
Yeah, we never got the tracks. So like
interesting.
I had to stumble upon that track through, like a video essentially. And I got the audio from that. And since nothing was done in the last 10 years, I figured, well, I wrote the song. I'm
Mhm.
I might as well use
You
it
can
if
fuck with
I.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we did, and we wanted to include it as a little bonus for all you guys that are fans of that specific era, and I wanted to make sure that everybody that played on the album obviously played on the bonus track, and so it was all a
Mm-hmm.
cohesive piece. So, yeah, I think we did a good job with that is all.
So the original Madrost that played on that album's all still together. No bad bridges or nothing.
Oh, hell no.
Mm.
There's a lot of bad blood between that lineup, dude. That's
Mm-hmm.
the ugly part. I've made up with a few of them, but not. I never want to go back there, but because this
Mm.
going back through this whole experience brought back up a lot of those memories, dude.
It's
Where
going
it
to.
felt, yeah, well, it felt like it was, and it's I should. I have to take some responsibility for us, right? It's not all like them. It's, where it's a two-way street, right? But I always felt like any decision I would make, it wasn't backed up by the other guys. It was like them three versus me. And when you're in a band, it doesn't correlate very well, So, yes, a lot of those memories kind of were brought back, and it was kind of like, well, I'm glad this is over with, So,
Yeah.
yeah. And it obviously ended badly. I've talked about it on many interviews on how it ended, but,
Yeah.
is
Well,
what
hey,
it
I
is.
was
But I had to,
at that time. I was in the same era as you were, where I was dissolving a partnership. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, but it felt like the whole world was kind of like against you, and it's not a good feeling. But luckily the songs are good enough to where I can listen back and still enjoy it because I like the songs. I like playing the song. And it seems like a lot of people do enjoy the Maleficent lineup and Maleficent era from this band. I
Well, that
don't think
last
it's
track
as I
we
don't think
played,
it's as
Crypt Keeper.
great as yeah. I don't think it's as great as the material we would release later on, but so
I'm sure Metallica doesn't think fucking Ride the Lightning and fucking Kill 'Em All are their greatest material that they've released. You think they really want to play fucking Seek and Destroy again? How many times do you think Metallica's played Seek and Destroy?
Yeah, but they don't need
Honestly,
to play it. None of us bands actually need to play it when
no, but the
Metallica has
fans
the
want to hear
Black
it.
Album. Yeah, but they got the Black Album, which is like arguably the biggest album of their career.
They still probably played Seek and Destroy more times than they played any track on the Black Album.
Oh, I'm sure,
It had
but
a
I'm
20-year
saying,
start.
yeah, I'm saying they don't have to, but I'm sure they do it as a nod to the old school, Just like we don't have to play Drawn and Quartered every fucking show. What we do because it's a nod to the old school, and same with Zombie Grinder, But yeah, just a lot of good memories were brought back from this album, and a lot of bad ones too. But in all honesty, I'm still glad I went through this this whole
Of
experience.
course, it's about growing any
reachieving
band.
the record.
That whole conversation we just had now reminded me about the thing Mr. Lou posted being in New York, New Mexico, or Mexico, in a big, huge stadium, and Metallica busts out the full No Remorse. And this one's for Brian. I was like, whoa.
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome because I know James doesn't ever do that.
The last time I remember him doing something was for Debbie Obano after Debbie Obano died. So
there you go. There you go. But yeah, no, just a lot of good memories. I'm stoked to have people hear it, and make sure to go pick up a copy, obviously, at NoLifeTillMetalRecords.com, April 2nd.
Let's get into another track real quick.
Sure. What do you want to do?
Under the Hammer.
Okay. Sweet.
This is early Madrost right now on
Razor Radio.
All right, that was Circus Fleas from last week's guest, Dressed to Dead, Craig Lucicero. And man, Kayla, just her vocal and some of the sound effects stuff they did on that. The band did great, and I actually get my hats off to Rob Flynn on that too, because he did a real good job of recording that.
Absolutely.
And
that was a fun
I dig it. The thrash and roll is what Craig calls it. Thrash and roll.
Love it. And that was a fun interview, man. For people who haven't seen or heard the interview from last week, definitely go check it out, because I think the Craig Lucicero interview was awesome.
Yeah, he's good at telling stories, and he talks a lot. He's in there with the Steve Gaines and the Eric Keevils. I mean, John Keevils.
We should bring all of them on the show at once.
Yeah, I just have to sit back and smoke. I just sit back with my vape. But hopefully we're going to have Craig back on in a couple of weeks with Kayla joining us, because they've got a sick video coming out for the other track, Knives Out, which I think is the heaviest track so far they've released. And man, his guitar work is it's phenomenal.
It's so good.
But
he's a great guitar
back
player.
on, oh yeah, he's been in every band he's been in has been fucking good. You got Forbidden, you had Man-Made God, you got fucking Spiral Arms, you got Demonica, which the guys from the other guitar player was fucking Hank Sherman. And then you got Dressed to Dead, Spiral. I mean, yeah, everything he's been in. Plus, he did some work on Jeff Tate's very first solo record too, after the Queensryche thing split up. And he filled in with Death a couple times as their touring guitar player. That says a lot to me too.
Absolutely, my man. What do you want to get into, man? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about well, we only got about 4 or 5 more minutes, but what are our Madrost like signal goals right now? The pandemic's coming to an end. Are you guys going to tour this year? Are you going to wait to tour 2022 and maybe head over to Europe? What's the game plan or the tentative game plan? Because we make plans and then it goes the way it goes.
Right? We play it by ear.
The pandemic taught me that.
Well, what we're in control of now is writing. So me and Big Cat are starting to write. We're going to start writing this weekend. As we do this, as we're doing the live show here. But yeah, we're going to start writing the next record because honestly, we're in the zone right now, I feel, and I want to write some new songs. I want to write some epics, and I felt with Charring the Rotting Earth was a great step forward for us, and feel this new one is gonna. I need it. I want it to be that next step up for us, and yeah.
Your musicality is that a word? Musicality? It just keeps getting better. I mean, yeah, you can see the progression as it goes on.
Absolutely, and I
think that's why it's great. This is coming out on vinyl.
It's going to sound really good on vinyl too. Yeah, I just I needed. I always feel like we need to be like where we deserve to be, and that's that next level. So I want to thank all the fans, obviously, for sticking with us for close to 15 years now, if you can believe that.
All DIY.
That's right. And obviously, Andy, we're gonna obviously get into the song later, in a few minutes here. But I want to thank you for playing it when this, because this album didn't get a lot of love when it came out too, man. Not a lot of support.
I dug it originally.
Not a lot of promotion. I think Michael Bominator was one of the only ones that reviewed it for us as a favor.
It's because he sang on it.
No, he sang on the next one. That was the next one.
Oh, okay. Right, Easy Aquatic.
Yeah, but the Maleficent one, he was one of the only ones to review it. So I want to thank him, obviously, for the amount of support. And I don't forget that.
For playing it.
Yeah, I don't forget that shit. So it's important to support new artists. And at that time, we were a new band.
That's why we were doing it a lot when I was when we were at where were we at before Yo Radio? Oh, Dash. I was doing it a lot where I would just pick some new demo or some brand new release from somewhere that I'd gotten, and I would play tracks on the show, and then I would tell the band on like their Facebook or whatever after we'd already played it, and send them to the like Miss Collars or Warm Men, and they would freak out. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's important.
Since we're doing these quarantine shows, I'm trying to get what we can, but all the new stuff you guys are sending me, I'm putting on Razor Radio, or Tanner adds it, and I got a whole another list of like 15 songs I'm probably going to add right after we get done with this interview tonight, of things that just going, if we don't play it like on the little show here that we only do for an hour, we got the whole rest of the week. We are 24/7 365 days a year at www.razorradio.com, and it sounds good. It's an HD. What more you want? And we don't offer any commercials either.
Absolutely. Dude, I've always wanted to ask you this too, and obviously I'm kind of being interviewed for this too, but is there anything you want to know about this specific era or record? Have you ever wanted to know anything, or have you found out everything? Have I told you everything?
I think I know it all pretty much, because this is the band that got me into it. You played some of your first shows in LA from that record for me.
All right.
If you recall.
Yeah, I do. But I didn't start interviewing you until the second record, so that's why I was just curious.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Let's end it.
Let's end it. But first, tell everybody how they can do the pre-order one more time.
Sure. So NoLifeToModelRecords.com. April 2nd is when the pre-order date is going to go up. It's going to be released in June. And before I get out of here too, I want to obviously let everybody know that poppitzcorner.com is now a thing. So if people are interested in the long form interviews that I do, and obviously razorradio.com with one R in the middle, check out all of that and support us, because we support you guys, and we look forward to doing it more and more.
And very humbly, next Thursday is my, not yours, not quite, but you've been here for a lot of them, is my 500th show since I've pretty much been doing Razor Radio back in 2012.
That's amazing.
500 shows.
That's amazing, dude. Wow.
So we're going to have some people pop in next week. Some people.
Are you going to have people that I don't know that you haven't told me off the air?
I'm trying to work on it. I mean, you could do the same. I don't think we're going to have we're going to try to do it for an hour, and we'll try to have everybody pop in. And I've got a few people up my sleeve. 500 shows, man. That's a lot of shows, dude. I mean,
well, let me ask you.
A lot of them aren't posted. Some of them were shows I went in when we first started Dash Radio. Me and Hate War were doing fucking 4 hours a day for like 5 days a week, live radio. So, a lot more then, but there's a good 200 of them up on Mixcloud. 500 shows is a lot. Some of them were 2, 3, and 4 hour shows too back in the day.
And some of them had multiple guests to them. Some of them had multiple bands. So you've interviewed
multiple bands. Sometimes I had 3 or 4 bands in there. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
So let me ask you this real quick, dude. In your opinion, how have you changed format in terms of how you interview bands? Because we always grow as interviewers, right? But how have you specifically changed your view?
I try to keep it not too long because I learned from the guy that I interned with and started with here in LA. He would go on and on and on about with his questions, and never let the band talk. That kind of stuck with me. And I've always said they don't want to hear me yammer because I'm doing radio. I'm not doing a podcast. Remember this. They want to hear the music. And that's what I've always been since I was 12, 13 years old, and start collecting metal. Like, oh, dude, I got a track for you to listen to. Or you got to hear this, dude. You got to hear this. And that's what I like doing is I like playing the music for everybody. If I just had to talk and do a podcast, I'd probably quit.
But aren't you glad that there's both formats?
Yes, honestly, I'm totally glad. But for me, I want to play the tunes because that's what made me fall in love with me. It's not listening to you guys talk. It's fucking that grinding guitar or whatever, man. That's always what it's been about for me is the music.
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, let's get into it. Go ahead. Let's get into it. My favorite track from for your first record and probably overall. I love it. Matter of fact, when we were doing promos this year, I tried to do promos for everybody, a couple tracks, and Tanner's like, we're not even playing that song anymore. And we did 2 promos for Charting the Right Earth, and then I have you going use the Tanner Prophet for Razor Radio, and just the Razor, and then we played this track right here, fucking Zombie Grinder. Right now on
Razor Radio.
See you, everybody. We're out. See you next week. 500 show.